Well, I guess I went and a little bit betrayed my high-ranking top clearance source, and as such, my high-ranking top clearance source went and a little bit betrayed me. Some information was unknowingly or perhaps potentially intentionally shared with me, and I kind of came out here and blurbed it out, and so therefore some information from my end was shared with some, well, all the way to the top officials. Let me read you this. This is from one of our members, Steph Strebel. Steph writes, that high-ranking individual, I believe, goes all the way to the top. And she's talking, of course, about the video I made where I gave you a little bit more pieces of the puzzle in regard to what's going on with the drones, the orbs, the plasmoids, the UFOs, the abductions, all these things. She continues, it's kind of odd that you did a video 3 to 4 days ago telling us how the drones came to attack you and your family. The next day, Trump made the comment that drones are attacking people in Virginia, even though it's not being reported by the news. I immediately thought about you. The very next day after Trump said that, you said that you had a conversation with a high-ranking individual. Just who are you, my dear Kevin? Either way, we all love and respect you very much. Thank you for all that you do. You probably heard it said that there's certain groups or organizations that you're kind of like a member for life once you join, or maybe there's certain jobs that you can walk away from, but you never really viewed as being unemployed by your previous employers. Seems as if a little bit of this has come home to roost. So here's what I'm going to do, and this is not me retaliating upon somebody that I kind of didn't think would go all the way to the soon-to-be top, the very quickly incoming top, with information I shared. And it's just information I put out here to you folks here on social media. But what I'm going to do at this time is I'm going to kind of beat incoming President Trump to the punch by about 5 days, because I know exactly what's going on with the drones, okay? And here's why I'm doing it. Because shortly after this comment came up, I ran across another. And at first I thought, a troll, a bot. But I went and searched for the evidence of this one, and I found that this person was actually speaking truth. Not a fan of me, clearly, as you'll see as I read this, but they were not lying like we've had people doing. And that's been part of the operation that I'm getting ready to explain 5 days before President Trump does, okay? So this comes from Pyramid Coder, just shortly after what Steph Strebel wrote. Pyramid Coder writes, Kevin, you did a video yesterday where you play acted, or like you were getting attacked by drones. And there were actually, okay, they got the timing right, because this came in within the last 24 hours. In the video they're referencing where they claim I'm play acting, okay, their words, absolutely not mine, was actually from about 4 or 5 days ago, okay? Let me read it again. Kevin, you did a video yesterday where you play acted like you were getting attacked by drones, and there were actually several store-bought drones chasing you down. Eventually, you exclaimed, they're spraying me, and you hit the ground as if dead. I read through the comments, and everyone said they were dropping membership and unsubscribing. Today, the video is gone. Did I go through a portal? It was as real as this current video. And this was left on a video from yesterday, okay? So they just got their days mixed up. Was I shown the near future where you were having a bipolar moment, or am I a greater fiction writer than you? Shaking my head. Godspeed from Michael. Rapture coming soon. Well, I knew the video they were referencing, the one that, and I'm not going to make any further comment on that video, FYI. I'm going to give you people a quote from your incoming king, Donald J. Trump, here at the end of this video, because I think it's very apropos for this. So I went and checked. I looked for that video this individual was referencing, and it's gone. It is not on my channel. And, well, my phone's right here making this video. The hard copy of it is not on my phone. Okay? So clearly what's going on is I came out and I shared some information a couple of days ago from a top-ranking, very high-ranking, top clearance individual who I thought was letting something slip. Okay, and it was about hearing these jet-propelled engines seeming as if they're out in your yard and it's driving all the dogs in the subdivision or the neighborhood crazy, but you go out and you look and there's nothing there. Clearly it wasn't a slip. I think I was being baited. But I took the bait. I came out here and I shared with tens of thousands of you who have seen that video, that information, and sure enough, what happened? What happened? Well, thousands of you came out with your own stories of similar experiences. Let me just say that no matter who these agents are, when they're in, okay, here's how it works. You cannot swear an allegiance to a political party. You have to swear your allegiance to whoever the commander-in-chief is. So you might hate creepy Uncle Joe Biden, but if he's currently president, which he is for a few more days, your allegiance is to him. Now, you might prefer incoming President Donald Trump, but you are not allowed to take your allegiance away from creepy Uncle Joe and give it to the Don until the Don is sworn into office. Okay? That's just how it works. And the people that make it to the level of the individual I spoke with that let this information slip, they do not make it to that level unless they adhere to that policy of sworn due allegiance. They have to practice, put it in practice what they preach. They don't just say it and then secretly not do it. They do it. And this is what has happened. So now, President Trump has talked about a guy in Virginia being attacked by drones. Okay? He has planned his retaliation, and I'm going to tell you what that retaliation is. And I'm going to tell you everything that's going on here. I'm basically doubling down on what I stated 3 weeks ago was going on. And so once again, all the diehards out there who, honest to God, are hoping we get invaded by aliens before the inauguration so that the peaceful transition of power doesn't take place so they can claim they were right. You're going to hate my guts even more. I'm anticipating more 3,000 word long essays as to why you're unsubscribing from my channel after this. But let me tell you, the one thing I do proclaim to come out here and do in these videos is to deliver the truth as I see it. And this truth is as I see it because I am 100% right. What's incoming President Trump's retaliation in regard to, somebody in Virginia actually being attacked by these drones? Well, and he said it, and you can go and you can look and you can find this. The day after he takes over office, he is going to disclose everything that's going on with the drones. He's not going to do it on day one because he needs a little bit of time to get some other things done. But by day 2, he's going to tell you what's going on. I'm going to tell you what's going on right now, and you will see in 5 days, because as of this recording, he'll be sworn into office in 4 days. You're going to see that I am 100% right. Many of you will hate me, and you'll never come back to this channel again. Because, listen, here's the thing. Most people just want to be right. And I've said this in other videos. I've learned this. It's in regard to emotional intelligence. Okay? We all have, and I coined this phrase, it's called emotional capital. All of us only have so much emotional capital. That's emotional energy that we can spend anywhere we want. I personally choose to spend my emotional capital on the things that matter. My wife, our son, the youth that I coach as a youth sports coach, my friends who I can trust, and let's just say I recently found out one that I thought was in that group isn't. But hey, man, life on the farm, right? Should have known. So anyway, I refuse to spend my emotional capital in negative places. and I've talked about this in members-only live streams, toxic people from my past, even if they're members of my family of origin. Nope, not giving the people who don't want to be in my life and who pretty much hate me. I'm not giving them any of my emotional capital because we only have so much. It's like money. It's literally like money. If you spend all your money on beer and cigarettes, you're not going to have any left for groceries. Emotional capital works the same way. If you're spending those emotions on negative, toxic people, a-hole neighbors, just people that don't like you and you don't like them, you're not going to have that emotional capital to spend on the people that matter, like the people that you love and who love you back. So I don't do it. Just like I don't spend money on cigarettes and I don't go to the liquor store and drop a dime. I buy groceries and food to feed my family. You know what I mean? No, I like a cold beer after a hard day's work. But that's how I view my emotional capital. And it boils down to this, because what I learned years ago, and this is going up the spectrum of becoming emotionally intelligent. We can choose to be right, or we can choose to be happy. Now, if it's the epitome of our life's goal is to be right, we will argue and we will argue and we will fight, we will complain, we will waste what precious time we have left to write 3,000 word long essays telling complete strangers who create social media content why we hate them so much and why we'll never come watch another one of their videos again. Simply and especially because they were actually right. I made the choice years ago to be happy rather than to be right. So I don't spend that emotional capital on negative, toxic people and negative, toxic places. I give it to people I love. And man, what an enjoyable life I've lived ever since. Okay? So here's what's going on with the drones. It is absolutely 1,000,000% political. It is a political agenda. Two things going on, okay? Number one, there will be no false flag invasion so that creepy Uncle Joe and his cohorts can implement martial law to keep Trump from going into power. That's what you diehard, dyed-in-the-wool conspiracists want to believe, okay? You're hiding under your beds, behind your couches, you're doing whatever else you do. That's not going to happen. And there are people out there feeding that script, and man, you love them. Oh, you're not going to write them no 3,000 word long essay telling them why you'll never watch another one of their videos. You love them. And even when they're wrong, which they're going to be proven wrong in 5 days, 4 days, you're still going to love them because they never veered from that script. But then you get a guy like me out here telling you the truth, you're going to hate my guts because you don't want the truth. And it's not because you can't handle it. It's because you want to be right. Why? Because you're not emotionally intelligent. You're toxic. It's that simple. Okay? So, here's what's going on. And President Trump, when he's president again here in just a few days, he's going to tell you this. Number one, the majority of the drone sightings in the very beginning were hobbyist drones. Clearly, they were hobbyist drones. Some of them were military. And as such, they could not just come out and tell you, hey, this is what this is. This is military. Because guess what? They tell you, everybody around the world knows. And as you know, drone warfare is the new form of warfare. I had a young man telling me the other day he joined the military, but he's afraid to go to war. I was like, dude, if you go to war, you're going to be right up here on 29 North outside of Charlottesville at Inject, flying drones. It's going to be like you're back in your mama's basement playing a video game, blowing up people on the other side of the world with remote controls. Modern warfare. You're seeing it in Ukraine and Russia, okay? So that's all there is to it. And now you're asking, well, why wouldn't they come out and tell us? Well, number one, since it is military, some of it is military, they just can't. They can't. Number two, the current administration wants to make you look like idiots. It is a psyop in that they saw where you guys were going with it. They saw where you were going with it. And they said, you know what? Let's let them have that ball and run with it so that we can make them look like even bigger idiots than the Democrat Party wants to say, if you're a Trump supporter, you're an uneducated fool, you're an idiot. In the media, what is it they say? They say that your IQ is too low for you to actually understand what's in your best interests. Yeah, that's what the anti-Trumpers and the mainstream media believes about those of you who support Trump. And me, I've said it a million times, no need to say it again. I'm not political. I don't care. I want my family out here on my property. I want to be left the hell alone, and I'll leave you the hell alone. And let's leave it at that. But they want to make you look stupid. They want to make you look very low IQ, okay? So they're just letting you go on and on. They could have come out and they could have said basically what I did just tell you, and they could have said it in a little more covert way in regard to the military operations in regard to the drones. But why would they? They want to make you look like idiots. They want to make you look like fools, okay? So that's one of two parts of the political agenda. And number two, and this is the part I've been addressing out here since this started, since my family and I had our experiences here, bona fide, honest to the God of your choosing experiences. There are aliens. There is extraterrestrial life. We have been visited. People within the government do know this. They don't want you to know. So how do they keep that from happening? How do they keep the masses from knowing? Because let me tell you, the folks who have been sending their stories into this channel through the email address, crazylake@mail.com, you know, because you've had those experiences. Well, in order to keep the masses from believing you, they got to make you look like a fool. So this is a double-edged sword, what's going on with these drones right now. This is the perfect opportunity to make you look like a fool because you claim you've been abducted, or because one of these things landed in your yard, or because, like in our case, we caught one of the plasmoids on a trail cam at 3 o'clock in the morning back in November. It looked like a jellyfish. You can go back and find that video. If that one's still there, I need to check on that. Maybe I've recorded too much stuff. Maybe more than just one video has been disappeared from my channel since having a private dinner with my buddy that I thought was private between us. But again, in his defense, I disclosed information first before information I disclosed went all the way to the top. But if they can make you look like a liar when it comes out next Tuesday that these were mostly hobbyist drones, and there were some military drones that can't be talked about because of military secrecy, the other party will be able to come out and say, see, we told you. And all those people that were claiming they were abducted and sending these stories, that Crazy Lake guy on that crazy homesteading channel, and he's not even a homesteader. I mean, sure, it's the most awesome homesteading channel on social media that has nothing to do with homesteading, but what's that got to do with anything? That's well, that person thinks it's funny. That bird. Oh, that's why I like birds. I prefer birds. And they killed 7 of my 8 quails. I've taken so many hits for this to be hated because I don't follow the straight and narrow script of the conspiracy, which it is just that. There will be no alien invasion. They're allowing you folks to build it up yourselves so they can talk about how stupid and dumb you are, which is what they want it to be thought. Because when they do that, they're able to talk about how stupid and dumb the man that you just elected to put back in the White House is. That's just how it goes. And then again, secondly, they're going to be able to discredit anybody and everybody that's had a real experience. So you come back in 5 days as of this recording, those of you who do want the truth, those of you who aren't just looking for somebody to hate and somebody to argue with and somebody to type out a 3,000 word long essay as to why they suck so much. Hey, all you folks with very low emotional intelligence, you go out there and you spend your emotional capital somewhere else. Trust me, there's going to be all kinds of places you can go to be toxic. But if you want the truth, and if you want the truth to life and how to live a better one, keep coming back here. And if you want your stories to continue to be told, because of that strength and numbers effect we're getting by folks being able to come here, share their experiences, get it off their chest, knowing that there are a pretty good core of us here that do believe you because we've had experiences ourselves, keep coming back and keep sharing those stories. Because shut me down, try as they might, they won't. I will keep telling you these stories. Keep sending them. crazylake@mail.com. There's your facts. Those are the facts. I'm doubling down on those facts while Dr. You-Know-Who and all these others are saying get ready for the invasion. It ain't going to happen. They're saying get prepared for the disruption of the peaceful transition of power. Ain't going to happen. See you for more next time.